Welcome everybody to today's football press conference. Today is Tuesday, October 11, 2016. At this time, we are going to give the floor to Coach Jones and let him introduce his players for today's press conference.
Good afternoon. To my left, we have Rashad Mosley, who was running back the first few weeks now is at free safety. You have Devin Hunt beside him to my right. And you also have Keelan Jones to my right. Both play linebacker.
Okay, so Coach Jones, Saturday we played Fayetteville State. We lost 7-6. It was a pretty close game. It was a pretty ugly game because of the weather. Can you just elaborate on that game Saturday? And how much did the weather affect our game plan on Saturday?
Well, of course, when you're not used to playing in that type of weather, it definitely affected both teams. We didn't get to throw the ball as much as we wanted to. We had to kind of rely on the run and also make sure we stopped the run. But, as a football player, you have to be able to play in any condition. So, I thought the guys came out very hyped, very prepared to play. Probably was as far as like pregame and all those type of things, they came out with some intensity. And I really was confident that we're going to pull out the win. But we didn't win, but we learned a lot about ourselves. And as I said before, we had one turnover where they had 3 turnovers, and I talked about it week in and week out. We can't have any turnovers if we want to win football games. And that turnover kind of what turned the game around. We fumbled and then they scored. And that kind of hurt us. We had a chance to go in and score. On the 3-yard line, we didn't get it done. So some things that we got to correct, some things that we got to, address and make sure that we get better.
For the players, what were your thoughts on Saturday's games?
Well, being a senior, it was, like Coach said, we had more energy. We just fell a little short, but every week we have learned something new about each and every player or about the team as a whole. So, it's a good thing that nobody's really giving up. Still is a positive, on a positive note. So we got some good things to look forward to in the future.
The effort was a whole lot better. We all was out there pumped up, ready to go. It's just there was a different vibe about it. But like Keelan and Coach Jones said, we're learning each week, and we can only continue to get better.
To elaborate on what my coach and my fellow players were saying, it's just we're a different team than we was the first week when we first started. We all bought in, we were more motivated to play, we're determined. I feel like the next week, the next game we come up is going to be an upset for the next team. Very confident in our coach and my players to get this win in the next team that we play against.
At the QB position against Fayetteville State, we noticed that quarterback Timothy Abbott was hobbling, and then I think Darren Downing may have been injured a little bit. Can you give us any update on their statuses for the upcoming game on Saturday?
Tim has a little groin injury. It's nothing, just a little rest. Went to the doctor yesterday. He will dress out on Saturday, and as well as Darren Downing. But that's one thing that we've been trying to overcome, the injury bug. It seems like every week a significant part of our team goes down. We have lost Thurman Trapp, our corner, freshman corner, for the rest of the year. And, as a coach, we just got to continue to try to put the pieces together to the puzzle. And, the next man up has to step up. It's not a serious injury, but he is out for the rest of the season. So that one kind of hurt us. But, like I said, each and every week, it's a very important piece of our puzzle goes down. And, we're, as coaching staff, try to find the best piece. And as you can see, like I said about Rashad Mosley, he was a running back all year. And last week we moved him to free safety because of depth issues, and he went in and had a heck of a game. And, that's the things that coach have to do: find the best athlete to make us better. And he's found a home now. It's his position to lose.
So just to pick up on that, Rashard, you did have a career high on Saturday, 10 total tackles at the full safety position. Can you tell us what was your motivation on Saturday?
To be honest, it's just I couldn't let my team down and step up and take a part of this role and just come in and have a high intensity like the defense. I told Kilo intensity, and I came and I looked at my coach and I said, Coach, I got you. So I worked hard. I broke down the offensive plays and schemes, and I just stayed motivated the whole game.
With that being said, which position do you like the best now? Offense? Do you like being on offense, or you like being on defense?
It's a trick question. I just love football. So I'm still an offense at heart, but whatever my coach got me playing, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get the win.
This question is for everybody. If you guys don't know, Saturday, Livingstone, it's their homecoming. You guys feel some type of way doing scheduling us for homecoming?
Well, of course, you never want to be scheduled for homecoming, but that's motivation for us. Like I said, we've gotten better each and every week, and we feel like this week is the week that we're going to get over the hump, and we're going to work hard, and we're going to try to spoil the homecoming. We're going to go out there with some intensity and make sure that they don't try to think about schedules for a homecoming again.
Going back to Livingstone, is there anything you've seen on film that worries you, or anything that you see we can take advantage of?
Offensively, they're got some pretty decent receivers, but we can match up pretty well with them. As far as the team as a whole, I think we match up just as good as they match up with us. But at the end of the day, we're going to have to have the most intensity, and at the end of the day, we're going to have to make sure we don't turn the ball over. If we do those two things, we will win the football game. I really think that. But those things have to happen in order for us to win.
Our defense has been outstanding, I think, for us. How can we get offense to, do the same thing? Or how can we get that mentality where we have it on defense, on offense? How can we get both sides of the ball on the same page moving forward?
Just have to continue to execute, continue to work hard on offense. We started off pretty good. We was up 6-0, and the game plan was to run the ball and run the clock out. And unfortunately, our guy that had 17 carries for 84 yards, Uriah Mathay, went down, and we had to change up a little bit. I think if he stays in the game, there's a possibility it's a little different because he was averaging 4.9 yards a carry. So we just got to continue to run the ball good. What we don't do well is when we get in the red zone, which I call the money zone, we got to be able to score points. And we had a chance to win the football game. We caught the balls on the 3-yard line, and in 4 plays we didn't score. We just got to, offensive line wise, we got to have something in us to say that no matter what happens, we're gonna put the ball in the end zone. I think that's our biggest crutch, the red zone. We're not focusing and realizing that that's the money zone. We got to get points when we get in the money zone.
Going back to that situation, you had the ball on the 3-yard line. Was it something that you saw that made you go for it on 4th down instead of trying to kick the field goal there?
Well, when we kicked the extra point earlier when we scored, it was blocked. We wasn't doing a very good job of blocking, and I didn't want to do that again. I wanted to go ahead and try to score. Probably if I go back now, I probably would try to kick it, but we tried to kick the 50-yard field goal, and the same thing happened. So we got some issues on field goal and extra point that we got to address, so that I feel a lot more comfortable with kicking.
For the players, what do you think is going to be a challenge for you guys heading into Livingstone? Or is there a challenge?
Well, every week is a challenge, but it's about, Coach said every week, it's about us. It's not really about the other team. So we just got to, stay focused and keep that positive energy that we've been having, a couple of weeks. And just go in there and play our game, because I never heard of Blueberry, to be honest. So I ain't too much worried, so that's all I got.
I say the challenge for us would be, can we have the same effort that we did against Fellow State? Or we will come out the same way, or we will come out flat? I think that's our biggest challenge for this weekend.
Like I said, challenges only come from within, and I feel like if we keep, maintaining the same work ethic and determination towards the game that we did last week, I think our defense will do the same thing we did. If not this week, then the next week on after that. I feel totally confident in my team. We work hard nonstop, so I'm really ready for this game coming up.
For Hunt, congratulations to you. You were linebacker of the week. Can you just talk about, this is the third time you've been honored for a CIAA accolade. Can you just talk about, how that makes you feel?
It feels good. I actually coming in, I didn't actually think I was gonna have as big of an impact on the team. I know I would come in and just play football, but I didn't think I would do what I'm doing now. But it feels good, and I'm actually proud of myself, my parents, and everybody's proud of me. And so I'm gonna keep doing what I gotta do.
Has there been an easy transition from high school to college, or?
Honestly, I feel like it's kind of the same because, our head coach actually comes from a college, so he actually ran our high school program as Blackton College. But the only thing different is that we practice a whole lot more here than we did in high school, so I had to get used to that.
Any more questions? Well, that concludes our football press conference for today. Coach Jones, players, we thank you guys, and good luck to you guys on Saturday.
Thanks a lot.